Normally, as academics, we write papers, we cross our fingers that somebody reads them and somebody takes up on the findings. REACH was very different in terms of how it was structured and thought about, an outcome-based program to improve water security to 10 million poor people in Africa and Asia. On our own, we wouldn't actually achieve the outcome. And so we knew that we had to form partnerships, particularly with government and also with UNICEF that we've worked with globally, regionally and in national offices, and then a host of other partners in countries as well, and to co-design the program in a way that it aligned with government's priorities, that we couldn't develop research, drop it on a desk 3 years later and hope that answered their question. We had to understand what their questions were.
With REACH, we've been able to have impact on people's lives. We've been able to implement models and inform policy and practice in a way that's going to make a difference for people on the ground. It's not just going to be written down somewhere and lost. We're seeing this making change.
As researchers, we work with people, the people who are interacting with the pollution or the people who are facing these water security challenges in their day-to-day lives. It's very fulfilling for us as researchers to see the data that we get from these people, to bring those data up to the policymakers sitting at the highest level of government.
And that's the dream of every researcher. It's very rare that research or academic work is taken up by practitioners, especially governments. We are very proud that we have brought about this collaboration, bridging the gap between science and policy.
Being able to go out into the field, go out to visit these rural areas where the service providers are working and see how the research is changing things. It's action research, right? We're working in partnership with people who are day-to-day engaged with these issues.
I came from the engineering background, and we tend to see things only from the engineering perspective. But from REACH experience, what I see is the importance of integrating different disciplines, looking at water from social side, from the political side, from the climate aspect of it, and from the engineering aspect of it.
What I would say has given me the most pleasure within the research is just the capacity building. We've been able to work with young, early career scientists and just being able to mentor them in the water space for them to know how to collect data and to be able to analyze and identify issues and dynamics of water.
You actually need a lot of resources to do the kind of training and skill development that people want, but it's so important for people to be able to actively participate in research themselves. That's the bit that makes me the most excited, is this capacity building and just sort of trying to fill that gap and work together instead of saying, well, I've done research and here's the output, you must implement it.
We developed an exit strategy 18 months before the end of the program. And we try and identify a number of things thematically where we think we're making progress and there's a good case to develop that into the future. And in that, we've identified 3 areas currently around climate systems, so work that we're doing in East Africa in particular, which affects hundreds of millions of people. And there's been major progress in understanding rainfall dynamics, which will help us better understand, predict and manage droughts and floods in the future. Water quality in terms of both groundwater and river water management and how that then benefits society more generally. And then in terms of rural water systems, how we can change the mindset from one of building infrastructure to one of delivering services.
What I am very happy to see is the passion that everyone has to really push this REACH program legacy forward. So we don't expect it to die. We expect it to keep on living.